And we are live.
We are live.
Welcome.
Who is ready for a review?
As ready as I can be.
I am.
Come on, come on.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Shit.
And that's a holiday.
About time. What Trish said.
Yeah, sorry, Trish. Well, Bill had to go get supper. Happy
Speaking of, what you eating tonight, Bill?
It's like a combo almost.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Some things are worth waiting on.
Yep. Look now, who the hell keeps messaging?
Everybody.
All right, so
Oh.
I guess we'll go ahead and get the show on the road, I guess.
Okay. You ready or not?
So everybody ready? I got something that's worth waiting on. Ooh, man.
Ooh, man, Trish is already offering stuff.
Shit.
Wow, even in the air church.
My kind of party.
That's right. All right, guys. Do y'all want to start it now, or do y'all want to wait a few minutes? Let some people get in here.
Up to
Either's
you.
fine with me.
Yeah.
What?
Your call, it's your stream.
Well, let's wait a few minutes.
Okay.
All right.
See if some more people show up.
Produced by Jay Joyce.
Yup.
That damn man's been with him for every album.
What's that?
Jay Joyce. Been there for every album.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mm.
He's worked good with Eric.
But when you got a formula, why mess it up?
I know, right? That's kind of hot anyway.
Yeah.
What she said.
All right, so I guess there ain't no use to wait. If people gonna show up, they're gonna show up. If they don't,
That'll be all Bill's fault.
where is everybody? Probably.
Yeah. Yo, where is everybody?
So today, I just want to say, welcome to the Wild Bill channel. Me and my good friends Alvin, which is going to church tonight, Chipmunk, and
Yeah.
my good friend Backwoods Darkling Redneck, aka Robert, and I am Bill. Everybody knows me as Wild Bill. And we have the Ice Pets Queens in the comment right now. So, us three guys decided here a little while back to want to do the Eric Church Sinners Like Me album review. Okay? We're going to wind up doing the whole Eric Church catalog. And this is the album here, Sinners Like Me. Sinners Like Me was released in July 6th of 2006. So that makes it officially, what, 15 years old?
Yep. Well, pretty much.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we'll be 15 next
We'll
month.
be 15 next month, yes. So almost 15 years old. And I have to say that it is one of the best debut albums from an artist that I've heard in a long time. It consists of 12 tracks produced by Jay Joyce. Am I right on that, Robert?
Yep.
Okay. So basically what we're doing today is we're going to go down, we're going to start with track 1 through 7. We're going to talk about each track, each one of us, what we think of the track, what the track means to us, and everything, until we get down to track number 12.
Yeah.
And I might give some little closing statements about the album and everything, and that's pretty much about it. But Eric Church is a few more things I want to say before we get started. Eric Church is just one of those artists who does not conform to the mainstream Nashville music sound. That's why he is, I consider, the modern day outlaw, because he does the things he does it the way he wants to, and he's already proven time and time again that when you bring the music to the fans speak on what they want, and he's done that several times already.
Yeah.
So you have nothing, and when you give an album to your fans for free, it makes it number one. Then the theory that you had all along is true. But that's later date for another album. But I just wanted to say what kind of artist I think Eric Church is. So basically, we're gonna kick this off with Eric Church's "Sinners Like Me," and the first track, which I guess I'll kick this off today, is a track called "Before She Does." Now, I really think this track is cool, and basically what it's talking about is a relationship gone bad. It talks about, basically what it's talking about is it gives you references about the Lord and Jesus, and they're talking about like how he thinks the Sabbath is it's a day of rest and all that stuff, and he's talking about that she's really gone. She's left a few times and came back and everything, but this time she's really gone for good, and he knows that Jesus will come back before she will, and that she's like out of his life for good. There's no chance of ever rekindling whatever they had before, and I know about that because that's pretty much the way my first ex has done me. She's never even really gave it a second thought of us ever getting back together. So, so I guess I'm one of them people. I kind of believe that Jesus will probably come back before she will. So, it's just a cool song how he takes and weaves that all together into a awesome song. And just talking about, there's a few lines in there, and one of them is talking about, how gas is too damn high. which is the truth right now. There's
Oh yeah.
nothing more in this country than a mama's apple pie. And he's talking about how he believes in love and peace, and but you'll never see it in the Middle East, and he believes Jesus will come back before that happens, or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of a funny take, kind of funny play of like Jesus coming back and how these things will never happen before Jesus comes back. It's really a cool song. I think it's funny, and I give it 4 stars because I love it, and it's upbeat, and it's really cool, and I just love the play and the metaphor of words that it uses. Okay, who's next? Who wants to talk?
How many stars did you give it, Bill?
Oh yeah. Oh, 4.
Yep.
Okay. So who did you want to go next? I
This is go in order, so
Okay.
I guess that one would be next.
Okay. So yeah. This song, Before She Does, very first track from this album, is actually a nice start. I feel like it's a very nice opener to the album. Now, as I always do when I do an album review anyway, I always kind of relate it to like personal experience and everything. And sometimes, I believe it or not, I've actually felt that way, like about past relationships, especially one of my most personal, relationships, my longest term relationship. So, yeah, but yeah, I really love the message of the song, and even that first, the first verse where it mentioned about the gas being too high. I was like, that's relatable right off the bat. I was like, so that's why I was said earlier before we started the stream, I was telling these guys that I felt like there's a couple songs on this album that I feel like the world actually needs to hear more than ever, because at least a few of the songs on this album feel very relatable to current times. But yeah, this song, I love the message, and I feel like a lot of people end up, in a relationship like that, where how it ended like that, like pretty much that she's walking out for good, and there's no, way she's gonna come back. And I love how he does say that he believes Jesus will come back before she does, because let's face it, sometimes that's life. When you fucked up in a relationship that bad. So but yeah, I love this song. I would actually have to give it like 4 stars. I'm like really I want to say I'm pushing it because I kind of really want to give it like 4.5, but it's not exactly a complete 5 stars for me, but it's definitely pretty high up there. It's a really good song. I love it. So yeah, that's my take on it.
I think you two summed it up pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else you can add to it. I'm being serious.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much how reviews are. Someone else always basically says it all. But yeah.
But I do give it 4.5 stars.
Okay, that's basically what I was wanting to give it. But I gave it 4 stars, just like Wild Bill. But yeah.
Nice. So who wants to do the next track?
If we're going in order, it'd be Alvin's turn.
Okay. So yeah, the next track is Sinners Like Me, the title track. Now basically, Sinners Like Me is a song pretty much about Eric's past and future, and how he knows, in general, he's a hard-headed guy who's made plenty of mistakes, but haven't we all? And I mean, because we're pretty much all sinners regardless of how we go through life. But at the end of the day, Eric knows that he'll be waiting at the gates with everyone else, and I felt that like it. It actually kind of reminds me of the Brad Paisley song, "Bigger Fish to Fry" or something, about how he knows like the devil's not going to come after him, that he's got bigger fish to fry. Like we're still all gonna, end up in heaven anyway. I mean, as long as we're a decent person, we haven't like killed anybody or not like murderers or anything. But yeah, I love this song. Sinners Like Me. I love the message because it's very true in life. I love how I started it with the first verse saying, "I was 15 when my daddy's old man caught me halfway through my first beer. He laughed so hard when my face turned green. He said, 'You come from a long line of sinners like me.'" And I actually love that, like throughout the song where he says, "I come from a long line of sinners like me," because I mean, I feel like a lot of people in life will probably feel that way about their families or their ancestors, their history. So yeah, I actually really love this one. I love the message and everything. And this actually is a 5-star song, in my opinion, only because it's pretty much relatable. I know it's made sound cliche, considering a lot. I mean, this is a very true song. Like, in a way, true words haven't been spoken. But yeah, I give it 5 stars. So yeah, I guess you can say what you want to say, Roberto.
Am I next?
Oh yeah, I take it
Yeah,
you're next. Since I mean,
I'll go last.
okay.
Oh, okay then. Well, I like the way it kind of tells a story about him, even though I don't know if he wrote it or not. But I like the way it tells a story, and I can relate to it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It was very relatable.
Yes, it is. I would have to give it 5 stars also.
Awesome.
Nice. You're done? That it?
Yep,
Okay. All right.
speaking to the point.
Yeah, straight to the point.
Title
Yeah.
track. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, I love this song. It's one of my favorite songs off this album. And every time I think of this song or I hear this song, I think of not only my childhood, but a lot of things that's going on in my life. Sinners Like Me is one of those songs where, you know, when you come from a long line of people that are, you know, not necessarily bad people. They're just, you know, they're the kind of people that they live a little bit on the edge. They, you know, they have that outlaw mentality to them, and you know, they sin a little bit more than most people normally would. But they're not the sins like they don't go out and kill people and do like rob banks and stuff like that. They live just a little bit outside that line, and maybe they drink a little too much on the weekends, or yeah, they party a little bit too hard and stuff like that. And you know, maybe they're a little bit more rowdy than people normally should be. And you know, I love that song because, you know, when you're talking, and like Alan was talking about how the song opens up when I was 15, I just want to say, like, I don't say this too much about a lot of artists because I don't think a lot of artists. There's 2 people right now in country music that I have never seen string words into songs and make them flow like they do, except for Eric Church and Luke Combs. They can take words that you just never like, what I'm saying, and just make it flow so smooth. And every word in that song has a purpose of why it's there. You know, they're just not putting words on a page just, oh, well, this word rhymes with this, but it doesn't really have a meaning in that song. And like, I love this, the last part of this when it says, I know where I'm going to go. And me and Jesus got this part worked out. When I'll wait at the gates to face till his face I see, and stand in a long line of sinners like me, which we know that we all will someday. And I just love that, man, because it's just letting you know that even though, you know, you sin, y'all gonna stand before the Father one day, and hopefully you've got that thing worked out between you and Him, where you come in and spend it you can walk through those pearly gates sometimes. But it just gives you hope to people like us who are just kind of out there and live on the edge, but we're good people, and like, you know, it's almost like a badge of honor in a way, to a certain extent, you know, when you come from a long line of sinners like us. You know, I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. It's just, it's who we are as people. You know, I don't know that I would have wanted to come from any other way. So that's pretty much, I give this song 5 stars. I mean, you know, it's just, it just flows in the way the song is written. And to answer your question, Robert, Eric Church wrote every song on this album. He didn't write them all by himself, but he wrote every song on this album. So
I should have known that.
So, all right. Well, that's it. That's all I can say for sinners like me. And so we're on to the next track.
Yeah, Roberto introduced track number 3.
Damn. If I don't choke to death.
Oh, if I don't choke to death.
I'm about to choke to death.
Next we have. Okay. Next we have How About You? Well, I love the way that it kind of can. Well, hold on, I forgot what I was gonna say. My mind went blank. I should have wrote this down. Damn, this is hard. My mind completely went blank. Somebody go next so I can think what I was gonna say.
I'll go ahead and go if that's cool. How about you? Okay. What I love about the song is this person knows who they are, and they ask the question, how about you? Like, for instance, like, I know where I come from, how about you? Like, it's basically about a song of being yourself. Like, I'll give you an example. I'm a country boy. I come from a small town in South Carolina, you know, probably one of the smallest county seats in South Carolina, if not the smallest. Probably one of the smallest towns in South Carolina. But through all that, and even though I spent, you know, a decade or more living in New York, I know who I am. I know where I've come from. And I know my background. And I know who I am as a person. And like he says, I don't have to have, you know, there's a line here where it says, I don't need baggy clothes or rings in my nose to be cool. I'm cool. You know, I can be cool no matter what. You know, people like me for who I am. I don't have to put on a persona to make people like me. And basically, that's what the song is totally all about. It's just being yourself and loving yourself and loving where you come from and not bowing down and, you know, oh, I got to be this kind of person to fit in. No. He's saying, being yourself, who are you? I know who I am, how about you? So pretty much that is the gist of the song, if anyone else wants to go after me.
Okay, well, I can go. I just want to say I really love this song. And the music video, I have to like. Oh my god, I actually love the music video concept for the song, especially. This was actually the song that, and the video was actually what introduced me to Eric Church because I was watching a lot of CMT back like 2006 or so, or even before then. And this video would come on CMT a lot back then, back in 2006. And I always loved it. I remember even watching this video earlier on like CMT's website, cmt.com, because that's where I used to watch all my like country music videos or my favorite videos from artists back then, because I mean YouTube, they didn't really have music videos on YouTube back then. Um, but yeah, I just love this song. I love the message. And one of my favorite lyrics from the song is actually I don't need baggy clothes or rings in my nose to be cool. The reason why I love that line is because I've always felt that way, and I would always see people wearing like baggy clothes and things like that. Like it's like they think they're you think you're hot or you think you're cool just because you're wearing like baggy clothes or your shorts under your ass or something. I don't know. It's like I mean, does you think that makes you look cool? Like you should just be. I love the message of the song that you should just be yourself, and being yourself is cool enough. I mean, you're good enough just being yourself. And I love how Eric Church basically is describing basically how what he's fine with and what his life is like and how he is. But then he also asks you, "How about you?" Like basically saying how about you? I mean, are you fine with yourself like I'm fine with myself or something? So yeah, I love this song, the video. This is what introduced me to Eric Church and what made me a fan right from the get go. Um, so with that said, it may be because of nostalgia. I mean, I do love the song and the video as well. So, in all honesty, I'd probably have to give this song 5 stars as well, just like the previous track. Even if, I mean, Eric Church still has better songs than this in his catalog, but it's still the song that introduced me to him. So, I just gotta thank him for that. So, and I love the message. So yeah, that's my take on it. So.
Well,
Yeah.
first off, I want to say I'd have to give it 5 stars also. Because
Okay.
it's what introduced me to Eric Church. And as soon as I heard it, I knew he was going to be a star. I knew he was going places. Even when he got kicked off that Rascal Flatts tour for playing too long, that's one of the reasons I started liking him even more. Because he was true to himself and wasn't going to take nobody's rules. Not that that's about the song, but you know.
Nice. Awesome. That it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess we're ready for track number 4.
Yep. Well, track number 4 is called These Boots. Now,
Okay.
this has to be probably one of my favorite songs off this album. I love this song because it talks about a man and a pair of his boots and the mistakes and the things he's done in life, whether they were good or bad, in a pair of boots. And there's nothing too more important just about in life to a country boy than a good pair of boots. Okay? You do everything in them, you know? Just about. I mean, seriously. I mean, there's nothing like when you think of, you know, to me, I think like your most two important pieces of thing is your boots and your hat. You know what I'm saying? And like I've had hats that I wouldn't get rid of because they had sentimental value in them. The places I'd went, the things I'd done, times I spent and who I spent them with a certain hat on. And I feel the same way about my boots. And I had boots for years that I never would get rid of just because I had the sentimental value of the things that I had done in my life in those pair of boots. And I love the one part, probably my favorite verse in the whole song is when he talks about these boots. It goes, these boots had. When he was talking about, he said, these boots had the spur of that beast at Cheyenne. I thought these boots would make me a real man, but now I still drag my legs sometimes. That's what I'm talking about. It's like those things that you've done that you can't never go back and change, but they're a part of your life. And, I just love that, man. And, I have to say this, and I think that a lot of the songs on Eric Church's first album have been more about, I think, his journey and his life journey than any other songs on any of his albums. I just think that first album was like, okay, here I am, and you either like it or you don't, you take it or you leave it. And I love this song and these boots. And if you've ever seen Eric Church live, you know that when he plays this song live, people hold their boots up in the air, and if you're close enough to him, he'll reach down and grab a pair and he'll autograph them and give them back to you. I love that, man. And it's a staple Eric Church song, and I hope it never ever goes anywhere. And when he plays this song live, it just, I don't know, man, it just makes me go crazy.
Yeah.
That's it, man. These boots. What y'all guys got to say?
Well, I actually really love this song. I enjoy it. I don't know, just a song. I love how it is a metaphorical song about a guy. Who basically blames his stubbornness on the pair of boots that have been with him through all the stupid things he's done. And one of my favorite lines from the whole song were actually, let me see here. I'm looking through the lyrics. But yeah, but I really love how he said, but the damnest thing I've ever seen them do, talking about his boot or these boots, is walking out on you. And I don't know, I love that message. I feel like that's another relatable thing. I love how Eric Church's songs, even just the four songs we just covered just now in this review, are also relatable in their own ways. So yeah, I just gotta say that I would have to give this song 5 stars as well, just like the previous 2 songs. So yeah, I really love this song. So that's my take on it. Yeah.
Oh, and I meant to say earlier. I'm sorry, Robert. Didn't mean to interrupt you. I meant to say earlier that I gave. I wanted to say that I gave. How about you 4.5 stars?
Oh, okay.
5 stars.
Okay.
Well, I agree with both of you, but I like how it's got a undertone to it. I don't know what you call it. Kind of like Alvin was talking about.
Yeah.
But I like how it's kind of telling a story, if you will. But then it's got an undertone wanting to go back to the girl.
Yeah.
But he can't get the courage to do it. And I'll give it 5 stars.
But before we move on from the song, I wanted to make one other comment. And I just thought about what you guys were saying. And if you look at this song, and if you could take it and spin it to adjust it or look at it in a totally different way, you can almost like the Boots have their own personality, and they're telling the story in a way, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Instead
Yeah.
of you're hearing it from Eric Church's view because he's singing it and writing, but it's almost like, look, the Boots are telling the story about, like, because he was talking about like how they saved his, how that Boot hid that grass and saved his ass from those cops in Tupelo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's almost like, in a way, the Boots are telling the story, and Eric Church is just kind of like listening to them and like agreeing with everything that it says. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, you can. The thing I love about these kind of songs is you can take different perspectives and look at it in like several different ways, and I love that. And that's just the magic of his songwriting and how he writes songs, and I just love it. So
Yeah. So you ready for track number 5?
go for it.
Okay, here we go. Track number 5 is What I Almost Was. Now, I love this song. Now, basically What I Almost Was, it's basically a song about a guy who was in a very different place than where he originally planned on being in the first place. And now looking back on his path through his life, he's very glad he took the turns he did. He realizes the value of life is found in the journey you experience and not the destination you choose. I love that like concept, like, because it's usually, I mean, life is usually about the journey, not the destination. Anyway, I've always loved that. In fact, I've always considered that one of my mottos in life. But I love basically how he sings like this. This is another kind of like story kind of song anyway, just the way he says, it was my senior year. I just turned 18. I was a Friday night hero with Division 1 dreams. I had an offer on the table, a 4-year ride till that 4th and 2 and 24 drive. Like, I mean, but yeah, he basically is talking about how he basically almost ended up somewhere else in life, or a completely different person than where than what he actually is, because he actually like thanks God pretty much at the end of the chorus. But I thank God I ain't what I almost was. Like he almost went down the wrong path or took the wrong direction or something. So, but yeah, I love this concept. I love this message because I've actually felt this way throughout my life. Believe it or not, there are times that even I've almost went down a dark tunnel or something, or just a dark path, as crazy as that sounds, only because, I mean, that's what depression can really do to you sometimes. Not saying that this is a song about like that, but I mean, but yeah, sometimes you actually do get back on your feet, and you actually do take a stand, put your foot down, and say that you're gonna be a better person, and then you actually become one. I mean, become a better person. So yeah, I love the message of the song, and because of how relatable it is, and I remember the first time I even heard this song, which was basically back in 2006, because I remember listening to this album soon after it was first released and everything, and I feel like I don't know, I'm torn. I feel like I want to give it like 4.5 stars, but I'm gonna be really generous and give it 5 stars, just because this song just means a lot to me. But I feel like the whole album kind of does, and even preparing myself for this review, listening to the album for the review, basically got me into that. Like, a lot of memories came flooding back. I mean, as I should say. So that's one reason why I may be biased on some of these songs. Like, I'm just gonna give it 5 stars just because of nostalgia or something. But this one in particular, I know it has to be 5 stars, at least to me. So yeah, that's my take on it. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Roberto?
Well, I love the way it kind of telling the story of his life and what could have led different.
Yeah.
had all these events not happened, and I like how he's looking back on it, and he's thanking God that he wasn't what he almost was.
Yeah.
And it's actually one of my favorite off the album, so I'd have to give it 4.5 stars.
Okay.
Nice. Give me just 1 second, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I have the same question. Well, I feel like what you asked in the chat.
What's that?
Oh, because you asked if Trish was still here. Because I know she hasn't commented in a while, but she's probably, I mean, just listening. But yeah. Oh.
Cool. Okay. So, what I almost was.
Yeah.
This song, I think, if I've heard this right, now I could be wrong. I think this might be one of the most songs on this album that's actually more true to life for Eric Church, because I think some of the events in this song actually happened. But I love how it tells you a song, like story of how, like, anybody that's ever, I think, in my honest opinion, that's ever played football in their life and was anywhere kind of successful at it.
Oh, I know Beer has heart and soul, but I don't know if Alvin or Robert.
But anyway, they've always had this dream of getting a scholarship, getting a ride to college, going to college, becoming a star, get drafted to the NFL. That's most football players' dreams. And I love that how when he was talking about, he had his whole life set up for him. And when he took that last play and messed up his knee, and then he talked about how he walked on the next summer and got cut because probably his knee wasn't as good as it used to be. He gets mad and flips off the coach or whatever, and whatever. And he was talking about how he had met this girl and could have been a CEO in some huge, probably Fortune 500 company, but that's not the life that he wanted either. He just wanted to play music and make people feel what he feels when he strums his guitar and when he writes those songs. I feel that way a lot of times. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm still searching to a certain extent of who I am, or but I am in a way. I in a way, I'm kind of glad that some things maybe not turned out the way they did in my life, and maybe I'm glad that. And there's some things in my life I wish would have turned out the way they did, but that's life, and that's what I kind of like about what I almost was. It's like all these things that happen in your life, and you just thank God at the end of it that you have something, and sometimes you kind of think, man, Lord, thanks for not letting me do that, because I don't think that would have made me truly happy in my life. So yeah, it's a great song, and I love it. And like I said, this debut album is just out of this world good, and what I almost was, to me, gets 4.5 stars.
Damn, I lost sound there for a minute.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out who this guy is in the comments.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like good luck. I don't know if Trish wants to review that album.
Hey, what do we call you? What's your name?
Yeah.
I think Bill froze on us.
Oh wait, did he freeze? I was wondering. I was like, either he's like playing the world's best game of mannequin or he's like actually froze. Well, damn, we lost him. He's gone. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be, but. Oh, yeah, welcome back, Bill. What happened? Did you.
My internet's acting stupid.
As usual.
Yeah.
Don't have enough respect left for Garth to review another Garth album. Okay. Oh, yeah, I knew it was either because of Trish not having much respect for Garth at this point, or because the album just isn't that good. I mean, which, let's face it, when it's a Garth album, I mean, Garth does have some albums that are just aren't that good. Unfortunately.
Did anybody go ahead while that little stint with the internet? Did anybody
I don't think anyone said anything after what you just said about the last song we covered, Wild Bill. What I Almost Was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
So who introduced that song?
I introduced it. I introduced What I Almost Was, so I guess that would mean it's Roberto's turn again. Like to introduce the song.
To me, that's the hardest part, because that's when my mind goes blank.
Oh, when you have to introduce the song?
Yep. Well, I guess we're on to track number 6, The Hard Way. I like it because it's telling a personal story for Eric and the whoever else was the writer on it. And it tells about all this stuff they had to go through in life to learn a lesson. He had to do all these things just to learn the lesson. And my mind went blank again. See, I'm telling you.
Robert,
Okay, well, we can come back to you then.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We could always see.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess you can say what you want to say about it, Bill.
Okay.
So.
Hard Way. I love this song for a reason that it tells you about. He wished that there was lessons in life that he didn't have to learn the hard way. And you always hear your parents talk about when you're younger. Oh, you're gonna learn that the hard way. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna say if you don't listen to us, you're gonna find out what that's like the hard way. And that's pretty much what it's about. You know, it's about like being hard headed and being things and thinking you know it all. And then when things happen in your life, and you're like, because there's like a part in there where he was talking about how, he says, only fools take the time of day. They stay too busy. And like when he was talking about when his father was dying and that, how he stayed too busy and he never gave his father the time. But then when his father passed away, he wished he had that time back. You know what I'm saying? And then there's another part in there I love when it was talking about an ex he has, about how he had to stand in the back of a church and watch her daddy give her to someone else. You know, I don't know if that was if it was his doing because they broke up or her doing because they were broke up. But he probably had this vision in his mind of like, okay, you know, I was stubborn and could have like, hey, let's try to work this problem out. It was probably like, no. So he didn't, and he's like, damn, I wish that was something I didn't have to learn the hard way. And I love that song, and it's a true to life song, and it's just one of those things where, you know, I think you learn more things in life the hard way than you do the easy way. And so I'd have to give it I'd have to give it 5 stars. I love it, man.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, I love the song. Like as what Bill was saying, it's pretty much about a guy who wishes he would have learned some lessons without having to go through all the pain to learn them in the first place, which I can definitely relate. I mean, like, see, this is another thing. When I was listening to this album, that was one thing that kept crossing my mind the most when I would be listening to someone preparing for the review, was that, like, how relatable this is. Like, not to mention how good it sounded. Like, this is an album technically from 2006, and it sounded more recent than that, as crazy as that sounds. Even though it was like 15 years ago when this album actually came out. So that goes back to my statement, or well, I did make a statement earlier to these guys that Eric Church was pretty much ahead of his time. I mean, when he released this album, but yeah, I love the message, and like going back to how he's basically singing about how he wishes he would have learned some lessons. I mean, an easier way than the hard way, if that makes sense. I mean, for example, in the third verse, he wishes he would have learned to appreciate and show his father how much he loved him before his father died. Now it's too late, and he can't show him. But yeah, I love the message of the song. It's another 5-star. I mean, song. It's one of those songs that can kind of get you in your feels in some way, but at the same time, it's like you could just be like, "Yeah, I can relate with you, fella." Like, I mean, so yeah, it's just a relatable track, and that's just my take on it.
Whose turn is
Oh,
it?
I think I think it's your turn, Robert.
Yeah.
Like about the song, "The Hard Way."
I like in it the line where it says, "Regrets been known to take a beating, but I ain't in the mood for fighting back this evening."
Yeah.
Hell, sometimes I can relate to that line there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd have to give it 5 stars because it's one of the best songs on the album.
Yeah, it is.
Where damn.
What?
I was thinking, I mean, no. I mean, that is a good song.
I don't think you're gonna get their name. We
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
was
know
seeing
who
I
it
was
is.
seeing the comment. Yeah, I was like, this does sound familiar, but yeah.
And now that you say it, I've seen that name before in one of our streams.
Yeah, that's what I did think it sounded familiar, and the profile pic seems familiar as well. So I'm pretty sure we know who you are. Evan Tristan. Oh, I got it. I know their name.
Okay.
Happy about it?
Yep. Now,
Oh, now we're getting to some good stuff. Where I mean, not to mention, I mean, not like the rest, like the songs we just covered weren't good, but yeah, but yeah.
guys,
Track number 7.
Track number 7, guys, called "Guys Like Me." Now, I love this song. The reason why is because when I think of guys like me, you know what I'm saying? I see myself in this song because most of my ball caps have something on them where it's grease or dirt or whatever it is. They're not clean. I love my shirts untucked. I always have. I've never been the kind of person that really likes to wear their shirts tucked in their pants.
Damn.
Yeah.
But anyway, and it's just talking about how like I don't like to fight, but I ain't scared to bleed. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a fight person. I don't like to fight, but if I have to, I will. And if it comes with bleeding, then I guess that's what comes along with it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so I just love this. I just loved how this song was talking about like I've known some girls that had a father that was like, they're kind of high up and stuff, and like you said, I love the line when he says, "Your daddy worked at the bank, mine worked on cars. My father's been a mechanic. My father's drove a truck. My father's worked construction. My father's done a lot of things in his life." And I love the other part where it's talking about you went to college and I pulled graveyard. But then the same kind of girl that you would think would want that kind of guy that was like all wearing suits and ties and stuff like that. The guy that's going to go to some big company and become a CEO. No, she wants to be the guy that's like down here, just a good old country boy that has maybe don't have a lot to offer, but he thanks God every day that there's girls out there that loves guys like him. And I just love that song. And it just, when I look at that song, and I remember this was like, I think the second song I'd ever heard from Eric Church. And when I heard this song, I was like, yeah, I could relate to that song. But that's pretty much all I got to say, and to me, it's another 5-star song.
Yeah. Is that right for me to go?
Sure.
Okay. This song, oh my God! Now this is one of the songs I was talking about. Where I was telling these guys that you may be surprised, because believe it or not, before we even planned doing Eric Church album reviews, I don't even think Bill and Robert even thought I would be a fan of Eric Church. But the thing is, I mean, I probably don't know as much about Eric Church as these guys do. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but I do know his music, and especially some of his biggest hits, and this for me was one of them. Now, this is the most surprising part is. Guys like me, I was obsessed with back in 2006 when it first came out. And then, I mean, I had already been in a couple of relationships, but I mean, they weren't long term, and they didn't really last. But then, basically, I got into a relationship in 2012 with this girl from the Philippines. I've always mentioned her before. I mean, I dated her for 5 years, and just knowing what my love life was like with her, and what I got to know about her, and what she got to know about me. Believe it or not, I've actually dedicated this song to my ex-girlfriend back when I was still dating her at the time, because it's always how I felt. I would listen to the song thinking about her some nights, only because she came from, I mean, even though she's lives in the Philippines, her mother was a wedding planner, and her dad did a lot of travel for business. But I mean, they had money compared to where I was living at the time, and I was pretty poor. But I always felt I always considered myself a country boy living in the city, even though I was still technically living in the city. I was still a country boy, and believe it or not, I used to wear a cowboy hat whenever I'd go out, or even a cap or something, like what was described in the song. And I've always felt this way about myself, even though I can't relate to everything that Eric Church sings about in the song. I can relate to quite a bit. I don't like to fight, but I ain't scared to bleed. Believe it or not, I've actually gotten into fights in the past. But yeah, I just love this song, and this is how I always felt. And I was that it's hard to believe that girls like you love guys like me. And I would always say that to my ex-girlfriend when I was dating her. So yeah, so believe it or not, there was at least one. I mean, there was a few more Eric Church songs, to be honest, but this one in particular, I did dedicate to an ex-girlfriend of mine when I was dating her because it's how I felt at that time. So yeah, this song kind of took on a new meaning for me back in 2012, 2013, like earlier on in my relationship with this girl. So so yeah, so I have a lot of precious memories with this song in general. So yeah, 5 stars all the way. If I could give it 10 stars, I would. I love this song. This is one of my favorite songs from the whole album for sure. And that's why I loved your comment, Trish, about now this song I remember and I love it. And I think it's because CMT also played the hell out of this music video, the music video to the song when it came out. And so yeah, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of feelings, and this song is just one of my favorites from Eric Church. Not just from this album, but in all of his catalog. This song would probably be in my top 10 favorite Eric Church songs of all time. Not even kidding. So yeah, I just gotta say that I love this song. So yeah, when planning this review, that's why I was really excited about being able to talk about this one particular song. As crazy as it sounds, but yeah, that's my take on it. It's been 5 stars for me. But, yeah. So yeah, what's your thoughts, Roberto?
Huh?
Your turn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, your turn,
Right,
Roberto. I was
you.
about to say. Oh, okay.
I'll just keep it short and simple. I can relate to it, and I give it 5 stars because it's one of the best ones on the album. Which there ain't a bad song on the whole album, but
Yeah. So yeah. So is it my? I mean, do I introduce the next one?
Yep,
Or?
sure do.
Okay. Just want to make sure I haven't lost track. Okay. Oh yeah. Track 8. Orange Sinners Like Me. It's called Lightning. Now, I absolutely love this song and the message, and I feel like it. I mean, I don't know if it's based on a true story, but I feel like it should be like at least a movie or something. I mean, this song just in general, but basically it's about a man, like the final thoughts of a man as he's about to be executed for the murder of a boy who worked in a liquor store. Over the course of the song, though, the man's view of his execution changes, and he finds peace to go to his final judgment. So basically, he's like repenting his sins, like at the very last, like his very last moments, but also he's basically trying to find peace and hope. Basically, he prays that his daughter basically forgives him for what he's done. I love the message of the song, like about how he's singing about how he just has his final meal and that they're getting ready to set him free, and that like in the first verse, he literally says, "As the devil guards my door, I hit my knees in search of Jesus on a cold jailhouse floor." I don't know. I love this sentiment. I mean, about basically listening to a prisoner's final thoughts, or a murderer's final thoughts as they're about to be executed in prison. And I mean, like pretty much in the electric chair. And I love how he even talks about like towards the final chorus of the song, how he basically sings about how tonight he's going to ride the lightning to his final judgment day. And I remember when I think the song actually has a video to it. And I remember reading in the comments, and I don't know if this is true or not because I don't really follow like what other country singers say, but I did read that someone said that Luke Combs actually said this was his favorite Eric Church song. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like Robert would know that since they mentioned Luke Combs. That Yeah. So,
He did.
but okay, awesome. And I honestly consider this one of my favorite Eric Church songs. So it's kind of crazy how 2 songs in a row on this album, I feel like may be in my top 10 favorite Eric Church songs of all time. It's guys like Me and Lightning, which I think is kind of cool. I mean, it's just from his debut album. This is his debut album, mind you. So yeah, 5 stars for me. That's all I gotta say. That's my take on it. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Robert?
Well, I love the line. I don't think there's any truer words ever been spoken. I love the line where he says, "Every life owes a death." That's what the Bible says.
Yeah.
And I like how it's kind of a spooky story song
Yeah.
because I like them kind of songs. And I just found out that he wrote this song after watching The Green Mile, so that makes me like it even more.
Oh, the Green Mile. That's what
That's
I
my
thought
favorite
of.
movie, or one of
I
them.
didn't. I was gonna mention that, but I didn't know. I didn't want to compare things. But that makes me love the song even more. I was literally thinking about the Green Mile when listening to the song because it reminded me of that final moment with the guy in the Green Mile when he was getting executed. Like I don't like the dark. Like I don't know. Just that movie. Just oh my god. But yeah, that makes me love it even more. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites.
And I know Phil will agree with this one. I think it's one of his most underrated songs, and I give it 5 stars. And I'd give it 10 if I could.
Awesome.
Yeah. Guys. Okay.
Now we're about to get to some preaching.
I agree with.
Hi, country fan.
Oh yeah, hey,
Now this is my favorite song on the entire album.
Yeah.
And yes, it is. It is my. I remember the day I heard the song, and first thing I thought was, Merle Haggard. Another thing I thought was, okay, this guy's got some outlaw in, right? Because this is not a typical song that your typical country artist would do. And it's one of those kind of controversial songs that just kind of like, people just don't take chances on, Of course, Eric Church wrote the song, and he's the sole songwriter on this song, right? And that's just what makes it so great. And the thing I love about this song is, like I said earlier, him and Luke Combs have this thing where they just take words, man, and they put them together, and they flow so genuinely, and they just flow so good, and it makes you entwine yourself into a song so much that you're just like, dang, you know what I'm saying? You can almost see yourself there. And when I heard this song, it makes you want to feel bad for the guy that got shot and died, right?
Yeah.
But then there's the way he tells that story when he says, a hungry, blue-eyed baby crying made me rob that store. As that boy laid there dying, I dropped my pistol on the floor. Yeah, I'd take it back, but there's nothing I can do. They've covered my face, the order's gone through, and the boss yells, roll on too. See, that line, that whole verse right there in this song also makes you feel like, well, were they starving? So bad to the point that he had to go rob that liquor store. And, I know that boy, like in the song and stuff, it talks about how he was reaching for the gun. If that would have been me, honestly, I'd have just been like, man, take the money. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth dying over. You know what I'm saying? And probably in that situation, if you kind of look at it, you'd probably thought, well, damn, but then again, you can't sit there and say that you would have done that. You know what I'm saying? I just love this song, and it's just, oh my God. Every time I hear it, I get goosebumps. it's so well done, and I love how like the first part of the song just has this kind of eerie acoustics to it, eerie and acoustic guitar sound to it, and then a little bit later in the song you just hear the way the instrumentation just comes and it's almost like it soaks into the song. I'm gonna tell you what. I agree with Robert. This is a 5-star song, hands down. If I could give it 20 stars, it's just that damn good of a song. And to me, it's the best song on the whole album. And love it. And when I heard this song, I was like, yeah, he's going somewhere. And Hey Country.
But yeah, Hey Country fan, welcome to the pot pie.
Okay.
So no,
So yeah, to next. All right.
So you wanna continue the album?
Yep.
The next one.
What's going on? This should be
Okay.
I think Robert's song.
Okay.
I'm gonna let one of you do it because I'm not good with the introductions. My mind goes blank.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll read the song. Watching from phone while. Okay, Trish.
okay.
Okay. This song is called "Can't Take It With You." Now, since I introduced the song, I'm gonna let Robert tell what he thinks about the song.
That's the part where my mind goes blank.
Yep.
Oh.
So you want one of us to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Alvin.
Okay. Well, can't take it with you. Oh my God! I love how this is another one of those songs on the album that just feels relatable right from the get-go. The first time you hear it, you're like, "Oh, I understand this. I've been there." Like pretty much that. Basically, this is a song breakup about a guy talking about at how good his relationship was, and now thinks that the old saying, "You can't take it with you when you go," is wrong because she took his heart with her when she left. And I felt like I've been there, felt that, like, just, yeah, I really love the message of the song. It's very relatable situation, especially when you're in a relationship with someone and it's hard to get over them, like, even after, like, they leave you, and you still feel like a piece of you is missing, and like how she basically left part and she's like gone, and I don't know, you basically feel like empty inside in a way. So yeah, like part of you is missing, like your other half isn't with you anymore. So yeah, I love the metaphor about that saying, you can't take it with you when you go, and how that message is wrong and not accurate at all. So yeah, this song for me is 5 stars. Again, just so relatable. Like a lot of songs on this album, like basically with songs on this album, like What I Almost Was in the Hard Way, and like then Can't Take It With You. Like all 3 of these songs together are like about relatable topics or relatable feelings that people go through in life, whether it's in a relationship or like a family relationship or just like your home life, reminiscing about your childhood or your upbringing, things like that, just things you've been through. So yeah, 5 stars, at least for me. Can't Take It With You. Yeah, just relatable. That's all I can say. Just if I could describe it in one word, relatable. That's what I would say. So that's my take on it. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Robert or Wild Bill, whichever one wants to go? Yeah.
You want to go next, Robert?
I guess. I'm looking up each song so I can, even though I've
Okay.
listened to them a million times. What's that line I just
Yeah.
I mean, I like how it says in the song it's almost to Dallas, and she took everything physically and emotionally. Everything he got, she took.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, and it's true, because when you die, you can't take it with you when you go.
Nope.
True.
But I don't know what else to add other than what Alvin said, because he pretty much nailed it. So I'd have to give it
Yeah.
5 stars.
I mean, well, I could have said more because I mean, you guys know about some of my previous relationships, and yeah, I've actually been, like I said, I've been there, felt that. So yeah. So what are your thoughts, Wabgo?
Okay. Now, can't take it with you when you go. All right. I love this song because, like I said, it's a metaphor song. Can't take it with you when you go, and what that means is people believe that you can't take your stuff with you in the afterlife, and it's none of your earthly possessions are going to do you any good once you die, and that is true. And even if you could take it with you when you go, it's not going to do you any good, right? I mean, so there's no use in that. But the thing I love about this song is that you're right. She broke his heart, and not only did she take his heart and everything, but she took everything that they had together, and now he's left with nothing. And and he's kind of like he's like, what do you mean you can't take it with you when you go? Yes, you can. You can take it with you because she took everything that I had. And I just love this song. It's kind of a simple song. It's nothing real like. It's not a grand story like I would say like something like Lightning is or something like that. But it's still a great song, and I just love how again Eric will just tell a story and sometimes even in just a few words. And so I'll give this song 4 stars because I do think it's a great song. I don't know that to me, in my opinion, that's worthy of 5 stars, but I do think it's a great song though.
Okay.
So moving on, I introduced this next track, and this song is called "Pledge Allegiance to the Hag." Now, anyone who don't know what that means Merle Haggard, one of the best, one of the great outlaw country artists of the movement and of the time. I love it because it's talking about how this song you go to some kind of like little dive bar, a real dive bar, and it's just like a little hole in the wall, but everybody there, love real country music. They love drinking, beer. They love having a good time, and when a song is played, like say Ogie from Muskogee or something like that, they all raise their
Yeah.
glasses and because they know that that is true country music, and they pay homage to all the old stars that came, the real country artists out there that paved the way for the artists that are here today. And it's
Yeah.
pretty much just like a paying a homage song. Like it's talking about how we'll always wave the pledge allegiance to the hag. It's like they'll wave that banner and wave it proud. Know that they support those type of artists like Merle Haggard and stuff like that. And I love and one thing I love about it too is Merle Haggard sings on a small part in this song. And so that's also cool. And for that, gotta have 5 stars.
Oh, yeah. Dang, did Alvin freeze?
Alvin, you there?
He's playing mannequin.
He may have froze. Yeah, I think
I
it's
believe
something
he
like
did.
because he's not moving down here in the bottom either down here. Well, then you might have to go out and come back in.
Oh,
That's what he's doing.
he gone.
He gone. He'll be back.
Hmm. Chipmunk, chipmunk.
Well,
Don't you say that, Trish.
there he is. Welcome back, Alvin.
Don't
Sorry.
speak like that.
Oh, it's okay, buddy. It happens, man. No biggie.
Okay, I
Hey.
don't know. For some reason, I lost internet connection or something. Like, so.
Hey, Wild Bill, if you want to, you can move him back up to where he was, so we can keep it in order.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, did we finish I haven't even talked about the song yet. So, who was next talk about Pledge Allegiance to the Hag, or did you
Yeah.
finish talking about it?
Yep. I had finished.
We were waiting on you before you froze.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, let me. But yeah, I love this song. I love how it's like a homage to like Moral Haggard and like because I assume that Moral Haggard was like one of like Eric Church's idols and stuff. Like you said, Wild Bill, and but yeah, I also love how it's about small town American values and things like that. So yeah, I love this song. I love how it's sung. I do love how he even says it though. I pledge allegiance to the hag. But yeah, I think I would give this one 4.5 stars. Not a complete 5, but it's still a really great song from the album. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. It's not like one of my absolute favorites, but I do respect it and like give it all the appreciation it needs because it really is a great song. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I love how he pays respect to the legend in this song, and I respect him even more for respecting the legends of country music, because not too many artists these days actually do. And the line, I like Merle Haggard's line in the song, and that's what y'all can do with me when I die. You can take me back to where I'm from, but don't cry for me. Just put a quarter in the jukebox.
That's great.
Hey, I'm being serious here.
Yeah.
Don't cry for me when I'm gone, because I'll be in a better place. And for
Sure.
me, this song here is tied for my favorite Eric Church song of all time. So I'd give it 10 stars if I could, so 5.
Oh.
Next is Alvin's turn.
Oh. Introducing the next song? Oh, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, track 11. 2 Pink Lines. I love this song. Yeah, just the way I said that. 2 Pink. Yeah, 2 Pink Lines. I love this song. I love the music video. I love how upbeat it is too. And this video in particular was another one of the first Eric Church videos I ever saw. The three Eric Church videos that pretty much introduced me to Eric Church. Like, How About You introduced me to him completely. But I remember 2006 watching like music videos and like early 2007, and I remember that Eric Church also released videos for like Guys Like Me and this song, Two Pink Lines. And so yeah, this song is actually another song on the album that I would consider possibly one of my favorites. But I mean, I don't know. I just love the message. It's a song about a young couple awaiting the results of a pregnancy test, and the guy is basically thinking about like no matter the results of the test, like pretty much by the end of the song, it's clear that he wouldn't change what has happened, no matter what the results are of the said pregnancy test. But yeah, I love this message. I mean, I feel like it's relatable to a lot of young couples, especially there. I mean, that basically got busy earlier. I mean, earlier in life, and then like end up with the woman getting pregnant, and then like possibly starting a family. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's very relatable. I mean, that's believe it or not, there's some couples in my family that it probably most likely can relate to. So yeah, I love it. This song definitely 5 stars for me. One of my favorites. I love how upbeat it is. I even love how cheesy. I mean, I guess the music video is kind of cheesy or corny at times, but I mean, I still really love it though. It's it's like a fun time, even though it's about a somewhat serious subject. I mean, because like you're gonna have a baby, or you may be having a baby. So yeah. But yeah, I love this song. 5 stars for me. That's basically my take on it. It's definitely a very 2000s ish music video as well. But yeah, that's my take on it. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Robert?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Trish, you gotta stop that. You got to stop that now.
Wait,
You
Trish,
can't keep doing that.
what's Trish trying to do? Sex Robert? Watch no. That's funny.
Mm.
Hmm.
Damn, Trish, now you made my mind go blank.
Well, damn. What were we talking about? Two Pink Lines.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, if you remember that song.
that's one of Eric's good one, which is
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think
it's
it's
like-
not even bad.
Yeah, like of course I remember it. Hmm.
Go ahead, Wild Bill. Come back
All
to
right.
me.
Okay. Two Pink Lines is basically a song about a guy and a girl. I'm not necessarily saying they were a couple. I just think that it was probably a summer. They
Yeah.
probably hung out together. It was a fling. They didn't use protection. And now the girl's period's late. She thinks that she might be pregnant. And so they go to the store and get a pregnancy test, and now they're sitting there waiting on 2 pink lines.
Mm.
Okay. Thing is that I think just about every guy on the planet, sometime form in his life, can just about relate to this song. Okay. You'll always sometimes you can, and it's not even your intention, and you can slip up, and so the whole funny thing about it is it's one of these songs that's just kind of, it makes fun of the situation, but it's a serious situation. But see, the way he does this song is he puts a funny twist to it, but he's putting a funny twist to it because it's a serious situation. And sometimes even in the most serious times, you got to look at the funniness of some things, or the funniness of like, okay, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but I like this song, and I think it's a great song. But I actually heard the song at one time was kind of controversial for Eric Church because of just his message and everything, and and like there's a line in the song where he's talking about around here or something other. And you wait on how's it go? It says when the moment of truth finally comes, she gives not and come undone. Okay. These days, the rabbit doesn't die. You just sit around waiting on 2 pink lines. So it's almost like in this town, there's nothing to do but like maybe go somewhere and get it on. So if the rabbit's not dying, then you're waiting on 2 pink lines. Pretty much, it's pretty much what the song kind of like is. So it's I give it 4 stars because I think it's a great song and it's an awesome song. It's one of those songs that he had a video for it, but I think it's one of them songs that you just can't really take all that serious and just fun and all that stuff. So I like it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to say when I said the video's kind of cheesy, corny, like a lot of fun stuff, but it's about a somewhat serious subject. So
yeah.
The only thing I can add is I like that Victoria Shaw was the co-writer on this one.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, she got some good country songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how it's, like y'all said, like it's kind of poking fun at it and not being too serious. And I would give it 4.5 stars.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
I can't believe it. We're at the last song, Wild Bill. Happy about it?
Yeah. So that makes I think this is Robert's song.
Okay, yeah.
You want to do it again? Okay, this song is track 12, the last track on this album, and I actually can't believe we're here already, which makes it kind of weird.
Oh yeah, an hour and a half.
And it's kind of a fast review, but I just wanted to say, Living Part of Life is track 12. Now, did you want to go ahead and say something, or do you want me to?
You can.
Okay. So basically what this song is about is talking about like he wakes up in the morning, he already wakes up late. He's got a ton of things he's got to do that needs to get done, but he knows that he'll probably not even get a quarter of the things that on that list that he needs to get done. Right? And then he decides, you know what, he said tomorrow he's going to take himself fishing. Right?
Yeah.
And he said, I'll read it to you. It says, so tomorrow I'm taking you fishing, hanging a sign on the door of my life. Tell the word that I've gone missing and I won't be back for a while. So I'm tired of only wishing I could have trouble behind. I could leave my trouble behind. I want to be front porch rocking with the big sun dropping in a blue sky. Kick back, get high on living part of life. So basically what he's trying to say in this whole song sums it up, and I think in that chorus is that everything else in his life has run his life, and he doesn't have time to live life. So he's going to take a break and take himself fishing and enjoy some life, enjoying the better things of life, than always having something to do and always having a schedule and always having a list of things that he needs to do in his life. And that's pretty much what this song is about.
True. Yeah.
You done?
Yep. Oh, and I give the song like 4 stars.
Oh.
4 stars, yeah.
Who's next?
I don't know. Did you want me to talk about the song before you talk about it, Robert, or?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. Living part of life. Yeah, I really love this song. I love the message, and I actually do love how it's about how people get so involved with what they have to do to provide for their families that they forget the most important parts of life or living and family. Like you have to take care of yourself and your family before any of the rest of it. Um, but yeah, I've always believed this message, and I know that it kind of reminds me of. See, sometimes I will use like a movie reference or something if it reminds me of something. But this particular song, just because of the message of the song, I mean, I love it. Eric Church is like, I need to take time for me. Like it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, if you're being worked to the bone, I mean, you deserve a day off every once in a while, or you deserve to be able to do something with your family for once. Instead, like maybe you're planning on doing something with your family, but every time that you make plans, it's like, oh, my job's calling me, or I gotta work. Like, I mean, but it's the same old excuse over and over again. So sometimes it's like, I know you're like risking your job in the process, but sometimes you do really need to take a day off, and actually do something for yourself, or if you have a family, for you and your family to do that. You're not worrying so much about like, oh, I got another day, another dollar, I got to work. Like, I mean, but yeah, I love the message of the song. The reason why I bring up movie references is because it reminds me a little bit of pretty much the moral of the story. I know it was mostly meant to be a comedy movie, but it did have some serious moments that really hit close to me, and especially because of what I've seen go through in my own family with tragedy and stuff. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of the moral of the story of the movie Click, starring Adam Sandler. That pretty much family comes first. You shouldn't worry so much about your job. Like Adam Sandler's character in that movie, he basically kept putting off like plans with his family because he was so worried about his job or being promoted. Like, oh, I gotta work. I want to make all this money to support my family. But sometimes you need to take time to actually spend time with your family. Otherwise, you're losing time. So yeah, I love the message of the song. So pretty much the moral of the song, like, is to basically live your life. Like basically doing the living part of life. And I love pretty much the message is also clear as day. Basically, that family comes first, or life comes first. Like living comes first. If that makes sense. Like, don't focus too hard on work, especially if you know you've already worked your butt off. I mean, so yeah. Basically, the moral story is like sometimes you need to take a few days off for yourself and your family. Like, it's okay. Like, don't worry too much about your job. Like, I love how it says it. Like, there was a quote that basically says, no one on his deathbed ever said, "I wish I'd spent more time on my business."
I know.
Like, yeah, I love that quote. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So yeah, that's 5 stars from me. Just because I love the message of the song, and I would say it's one of my favorites, but there's so many other songs from this album that I'd probably say I like more than this one. But it's still a really good song, and I would give it 5 stars. I came close to giving it 4.5, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeling generous today. Not to mention, this is my first like Eric Church album review, so yeah, 5 stars for me, and that's my take on it. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Robert?
Well, I'll tell you the first thing. It reminds me of Bill because Yeah, lately he don't never get time to even hardly sleep.
Oh yeah.
Not with his job.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And Megan, yeah, I can see that. Like Wild Bill's like a working man.
Well, ever since I known him, this song has made me think of him because he's always busy. And
Yeah.
it seems like he's never got time to hardly do anything.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, I know that. I mean, because of Grand Central Station and people bugging Trish, like Trish has been running ragged, just trying to fix Rabbit's house, and even I know she can't really do much right now, but even I feel like I think of Trish in a way because I know Trish misses being lazy for a day, even though she herself can rant about how lazy people are in this day and age. But I know even she needs a day to herself as well. But yeah, that's very true. I mean, it does sound like Wild Bill.
Yep.
Uh,
Go, guys.
But I give it 4.5 stars.
nice.
Okay. Well, that wraps up, I guess, our church album reviews. Well, not really. It doesn't really wrap it up, but it wraps up the songs.
On
I
this album.
for this album,
Yeah.
I wanted to take a few minutes here and just kind of talk about the album in general, the artwork and the cover and everything like that. So I'm gonna do one more thing before we go here. I'm gonna bring the album back up on the screen just for a minute here.
Okay.
Now, I love this cover. I love the feel to it. It's kind of dark. It's kind of like mysterious. It's almost kind of like, who is this guy? I mean, you can't even see the name on the liquor bottle, but you know what it is. It's Jack Daniels. I mean, Jack Daniels is the only liquor I know that has a bottle like that. So it's not like you cannot tell that it's a Jack Daniels bottle. Okay. Now, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this back off again. But I noticed looking in through this album, how it's put together and everything. A lot of the photos are dark, and some of the photos you only see like part of his face or something, and like some of the pictures are kind of like black and white and stuff like that. This album gives me the feel of Bruce Springsteen's "Darkness on the Edge of Town" album. Just by like the cover, well, not really the cover, but the inside layout and everything on how it's done. Because that album kind of had like a mysterious thing to it, It was like, here's this guy. He's rugged looking. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's like, although at the time Bruce Springsteen was kind of an established artist then. That was the album to me, I think, that really put him on the map. Well, actually, it was Born to Run, but it still kind of had this like a mysterious kind of feel to it, and that's what I get out of this first record here when I look at the artwork and the layout and everything of the album. But I'm gonna tell you what, for a debut album that was released in 2006. I think that album is relevant, almost 15 years later, because it's one of those albums that's kind of timeless, and it fit in any part, like any decade. And I really do think that maybe album was right at a point in this where you feel like this album was kind of ahead of its time, just by the way it was made and everything. And there's nothing bad I can say about this album at all. I mean, I do want to say that you find albums nowadays, a lot of them have maybe 3 or 4 really good tracks on them, and the rest of it's filler. There's not a filler song on this album. Just about every song on this album could have been a potential single, and probably some of them should have been, but hindsight's 20/20, right? Well, that's all I have to say about the Eric Church debut album, Sinners Like Me.
Yeah.
If y'all guys
So,
y'all like to say, then that'd be cool.
well, I was just gonna ask. So, did we decide not to give like top fives or anything like that?
So
I mean,
that's up to you guys. Y'all want to do that? That's cool.
okay. Well, yeah. I guess in general, I was just gonna say, I love this album, and I totally agree with you. There was no filler track. Like, there was not one song. This shows you just how different of an artist Eric Church is compared to Garth Brooks. I mean, besides the fact he doesn't have Hootan like Garth, but like this album had no filler. Like there was not one song on this album that actually bored me out of my mind, like certain songs of some Garth albums. I'm not gonna like if you seen some of the reviews I used to do with Tristan, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I love this album. It's one, and I can't wait to do the rest of them with you guys. So I mean, that's all I gotta say. So yeah, I can't wait for the next album review. So I hope we can plan that one soon as well.
Okay. Anything you want to say, Robert?
Yeah.
Nope, not really.
Okay.
Unless we're doing the top 5.
Well,
I mean, if you want to, I could do a top 5. Because
we can if you want to. If you don't want to, that's cool.
okay.
All right,
Well,
let's do it.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say my top 5 is Sinners Like Me, What I Almost Was, Guys Like Me, Lightning, and Can't Take It With You. Those are the 5 songs I really liked from the album that really hit me in the feels the most. But yeah, so I mean, I already picked the top 5 because I know that those were the songs that I couldn't stop listening to when I was listening to this album. So
okay, I guess I'll go next. My top 5 is from 1 to 5. Is Lightning, Sinners Like Me, These Boots, Guys Like Me, and What I Almost Was.
nice. Your top 5 was very similar to mine a while ago. Yeah. So yeah, what are your top 5, Roberto?
Mine's from, well, it ain't worst to best, but because there's no bad song on it, but it's from 5th to 1st. Sinners Like Me for number 5. Guys Like Me for number 4. Where is it? Two Pink Lines for number 3. Number 2 is, where is it? Let's see. I guess I'd put Living Part of Life, and number 1 is a tie, because I can't choose between these 2 songs at all. And it's Lightning and Pledge Allegiance to the Hag.
Awesome. There you go.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay. Now that we're done with this part, question is, do we want to sit here in this stream tonight and decide when we want to do the Carolina album review, or is that something y'all want to wait after later on and talk about? Because I will say this, I think I have plans for the 3rd of July, which is a Saturday. We were talking about going to the beach that weekend, or maybe for a day or 2. So that would leave, I think it's the 17th and the 31st.
The 17th and the what? And the what?
And the 31st.
Oh, okay, 21st.
31st.
Oh, 31st. Okay, I thought you said.
Huh?
Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to shoot for July 17th,
Okay.
Eric Church sophomore album, Carolina.
Carolina.
So we're gonna do that, and hopefully, that'll no hiccups, and we can get that done. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, people who watched this or watched this later or was in the chat or whatever. Appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. I wanted to do these reviews for my love of Eric Church, a guy who has, been a big kind of, a person that has inspired me in a lot in his songs and stuff, and and helped me through some tough times with some of his songs. So I really appreciate that. And so we're going to make it here official tonight that July 17th will be Eric Church's Carolina album review. And things change, we'll let everybody know. So thank you. Have a good night. And that's all I have to say.
Nice.
You guys got anything you want to say?
Good night.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Good night.
Nice. All right, then.
Well, there's Trishy Wishy.
Yep. So I'm actually just gonna end the stream, guys, and we're just gonna all hang out. Is that cool?
Cool.
Works for me.
All right, then. So not everybody, and we'll talk to you later.
Good night, everybody.